50,000 for $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader.
We're on the Moontrain!
This is how you become a day trader.
All right. It is that time of the week where it's up to you to decide. Put your calls. What a fucking day we had on Friday. Congrats to everybody making that funny money in what they have labeled the Matrix. So here we have Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. As you see, it's still absolute cinema. This is like Apollo and Rocky slapping each other, but the Fib version of it, right? So next week, what do I think will happen? I think you will get some wild moves, but within the sausage of doom, the 4-month sausage here. There you go. There it is. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't think we reach Valhalla and donuts. Probably come down to oh shit. And if that is on Thursday, be sure to buy the dip for a scalp. Now here's a updated fractal. Goes into I've posted this in the full moon circle. Shows early pop in the week, fade Thursday, Friday pop, boom, something over the weekend, and then back up to the range. So this week, and this is very important, a lot of gamma has fallen off. This means you can get some wild moves within the range. So we're gonna approach this week a little different, okay? We're gonna maybe swing less. We can pick a few that we go with. Obviously, MU and Baba probably for me, maybe Meta. But a lot of scalping, a lot of SPX scalping, depending upon what range the mix is. Now here you see this gamma opens the door for some bigger moves, okay? Because it's been pretty sticky. That's why you've been range bound, okay? All right, I'm glad we got that off our chests to begin with. Now, the Namo does not look bearish, nor does it look bullish. What do you mean? Well, it's right in the middle, right? So for us to start shorting the shit out of this, I'd like a little higher. For us to be buying the dip with strength, you want it lower. So you're in the middle here, so that means scalping. Now, obviously, it looks like based on that fractal that we probably reject here early in the week. Come down and then rip up, and then it said back down next weekend, and then next week should be bullish. Why is that? Well, you have a plethora of the government's best, these fucking ass monkeys who work for the Federal Reserve. Now, what is the narrative? Well, you know, the system is asking you to choose between UFOs, pedophiles, and tariffs, right? And that is if you are down to relinquish your sovereign thinking in your head to others, okay? A lot of Fed speakers next week. Obviously, all of that is complete and utter bullshit, and we will be scalping a lot, okay? So not 90% cash, 95% cash, because you know, you don't want to be hit with some overnight moves, and we could start seeing some dive bombs that are buyable, right? So Monday, we start the week off with the first Fed speaker. We get some economic data that's going to be shit. Obviously, on Friday, We had core PCE come in hot. We had GDP fucking suck harder than a mosquito. And the market still went up on these tariffs. More about these tariffs in a second, okay? Lagarde, rumored to be stepping down, is having a speech, okay? More B-grade data on Tuesday. Richmond, Dallas, money supply, Fed speakers, blah, blah, blah. Wednesday, you have European CPI, should not be as shit as ours. Barking, blah, blah, blah. So typical Fed week, right? Then you got Bank of Japan, you got more European data, and we're pretty much doing absolutely fuck all besides scalping, and specifically news scalping, until Friday when we get PPI, okay? Now, what makes this week interesting is that is currently still holding the low. Then you have this situation where you have the first quarter, which will probably lead to a high here, okay? So we are still looking at here, let me put it on days, get this window working here. You probably still remain here, as you can see, that is the third. You probably get a high into that, okay? The first window here up, second one down, third window up. There's nothing that breaks the rules of coming down here and then still ripping up. Okay, glad we got that figured out. Now, the VIX still hasn't really done the expiration move. Now, we did get a nice 5% down day. Now we got to see here if it settles between the 21 and the 9, or if it continues trading up here. I think with all that gamma runoff, we could probably settle in here, which will make it even funner to scalp, because who wants to pay $400 for in the money 1 DTE calls on SPY? I don't think anyone. Okay. Iran, definitely growing closer. I'm thinking maybe next weekend some precision strike, but the market's baked it in already. It'll be a buyable dip as well. Doesn't matter anymore. Let's take a look here what we have overall for next week. So starting on Monday, and we are in those 694 runners, right? So Monday, you are, if you can get over 691 on some news, yes, you can get up here, right? You're not going over 696 to the downside. You probably trade back down to the bottom of the range here. Okay, fair enough. I don't see anything happening besides that. Again, scalping. Tuesday, you shouldn't trade. It looks like we're not maybe gonna go down all the way to 682 on Monday. For some reason, Tuesday looks really bullish. Wednesday looks like a gamma reset. I doubt we'll be down here. Thursday, is that Thursday? Thursday is the same shit. That was Wednesday. Here, Thursday. Looks like we're back in here. It looks like the whole week is just the same range, and that's pretty much what the chart says as well. Next Friday, 690 seems to be a pin. Fair enough. So maybe looking at early in the week having a short-term top. Would not be surprised if you pop this Bollinger Band here, then you come down, clean up here. We have on SPX specifically, we got these upside targets here. That hasn't hit yet. That probably hits on Monday as a back test at some point. And then we have 3 targets here that you can load the dip on. Overall, when these start selling, we are definitely going down to here. That's my new calculation. Fuck around here a little bit. We're getting closer and closer to a big sell is what I'm trying to say. And after that big sell, obviously that's the fake breakdown. We come back and then you can go higher. So for this week, I just foresee us being range bound and follow the money. Obviously, this 180% trade on Friday was absolutely killer. Dow Jones still has its gap. Will we get it over 50,000 this week? Possibly, maybe not. We will have to see. I do think we are range bound. As you can see, we couldn't get through highs. Needs to happen on Monday. There is some actual buying here. Heavy rotation. Okay. Next week is going to be, I'm actually looking forward to it. I wish they hadn't closed the market on Friday because we were on fire. Individuals that I want to point out that I am looking at, obviously what a trade that was. Meta, here's the Meta daily. So if you look, it defended at the gap. That daily still looks good. I noticed relative strength on it all week. Obviously on Friday it absolutely ripped out of the gate, missed that. We'll be buying dips on it. I do like this daily setup overall. I don't think it goes straight to 680, but Sock Guy had a ghost up there and it'll probably work itself through this volume shelf here. Upon reject, it goes to fill the gap. And that is another buying opportunity. Why? Because it's Meta, right? Silver off the fucking charts has actually been a good leading indicator. Played this like an absolute fiddle again on Friday. Sold those close dated here. I'm in some 430s for March. Has a good chance to go higher. This was absolutely psychotic last week. I'll probably refrain. I'm gonna be trading a lot of SPY this week. Another one obviously was Apple. And Apple has a ghost up here and it has a ghost here, and it shows you that we will probably be range bound quite a lot. Tesla, same thing, has some targets to the upside. Mag 7 rotation, yada yada yada. Hood and crypto in general got some nice inflow. I might long this soon. So I'm finally, my gold card is finally in the mail. So let's have the gap as a target here very soon. It's also, you know, had the fucking death cross right here. When a 50 crosses the 200, it's a death cross. Usually that signals a bottom instead of what, you know, Twitter will tell you, sorry, X, whatever. So as you see, I'm kind of going in with scalping the range next week. And if there's news, fuck yeah, I'll jump on it. Seasonality wise, look, for a while here, we've said that we're going to be going sideways. And the reason for the gamma roll off is to create bigger moves within here. That's OPEX, okay? Probably culminates with Trump and China here, and then down, and it'll be interesting to see if that date indeed is the bottom. Okay, so for right now, the one that I am digging and tracking here is this guy, looking for a little bit of a pop here and then ripper into the full moon. Okay, these other ones have merit to them, but what they all have in common, besides being on my computer, is they show dips that you should buy, okay, but very range bound and choppy. So don't be holding a bunch of shit overnight unless you're attempting some 20s, you know what I mean? Like, they all have you know, a dip here, and the volatility index too shows that we're still going to be doing the same shit. So a lot of day trades, open and close, maybe have some core positions. One that I jumped in after I left on Friday was this, trying to play it into 160 here next week with China back online. Then we do have some earnings, not the most exciting shit. We have like Home Depot, I believe. Oh yeah, Nvidia. Am I gonna play Nvidia? No, I'm not touching that shit with anyone's stick. Nvidia has, as of late, sold off after earnings. But again, I think that it's done it so many times that if we get a pop here on Monday, you know, you got hims and hers, Home Depot, Nvidia, TTD, CoreWeave, Dell, SoundHound, Baidu. If you get some selling here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll probably hit some QQQ on Nvidia, or maybe Avgo could be the play actually. I'm glad that I thought of that. Let me pull up Avgo here, because it didn't. Remember, Avgo for instance moved crazy on Google's earnings, and Nvidia is usually just a IV flush and sucks. Yeah, I mean Avgo could definitely, it's just range bound, but you catch a $20 move on that, that'd be pretty sick. We do have that 212 on Nvidia up there as a ghost. Why is it not on here? It should be here. So as you can see, it has based here, and then, but I don't think it'll just gap on earnings. It's had green earnings but moved down every single time here. Right here moved down, right here moved down, right here moved down, right here. Let me just quickly check this, compare 65. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. So like, unless you could get some China deals and this and that shit's coming down. So again, I'm not too concerned about it, especially with the gamma rolling off. I mean, you catch these moves. I mean, just as an example here, and I'll get to the tariffs. I scalped this here, I believe, like 4 fucking times for like 60%, right? So the tariffs, I'm glad you asked. It is far from over, first of all. The tariffs that he's trying to use supposedly fall under the same statute. So it's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be taco. Everybody's gonna wonder what the fuck. And the fact is that there's not a single trade representative in the world that doesn't understand that in 9 months this trade shit is gonna be wrapped up. So temper tantrums, news trading, range bound trading. We'll of course watch, you know, some of these names if we can catch some. Obviously they are pulling out of banks a little bit of there. I'll be watching if the rotation into tech holds up, if it's good. I think there's gonna be money to be made next week. I'm actually really excited. So with that said, God bless. I'll see you on the Moontrain on Monday. Let's get it. Let's aim to be green 5 days in a row. And most importantly, once we've established that indeed it is going to be range bound trading and we're not getting murdered here, I am probably going to do some pretty fat base hits. I'll use 1DTs, worked great this week. And if we are back in the algo that gives you a Tuesday low like this, I mean, this is my favorite shit to trade, because you catch the Monday pop, you buy Tuesday, you hold for Wednesday, you sell that premium spike, you load up again on Thursday. This is actually my favorite algo, and it's really tradable because, as you see, it's got big moves during IB session. Thank you guys. It was a great week. It was a really hard week though, but I think what we're doing is working, and if you weren't as green as the rest of us, at least you're in the right company and you will get there too. You just gotta fine tune it. Okay, don't hold runners this week. God bless you.